Hello everyone, it's question time again. So the other day somebody asked me this. What would you say to a client if they came to you and said, I was abused as a child? What would you say to them? Would you tell them to get over it? And in short, my answer to that question is no. I would never tell anyone I'm working with to get over what they're going through. It is and it isn't as simple as, get over it, let it go, drop it. It's not happening now, and so it can't bother you anymore. It can't affect you. It can't put a feeling into you. But if a client came to me with anything, whether it's from their past or from within their present life, whether they've been abused in the past or they're currently being abused now, whatever it is, or something that isn't even remotely close to abuse, just anything that is happening in somebody's life, I most definitely wouldn't tell them to get over it in that sense. I wouldn't use those words. What I would say to them is explain where their experiences are coming from. Explain that. I will start from the beginning of what I know to be true, which is that our experiences are first and foremost coming from thought in the moment. Now, in the case of abuse, it's quite a touchy subject, and sort of a disclaimer before I carry on. I'm not justifying any abusive behavior or anything like that. Not like whatsoever. I am not justifying it. I'm not saying that I'm not promoting it isn't a thing. If there is a situation you find yourself in, by all means seek help by the provisions that are available. But even abuse, even something that is quite a, I guess, taboo subject and quite a big thing and not a nice thing to think about, even that is created by thought in the moment. So what happens when there's two people, an abusee and the abuser, is they're in two states of consciousness, and one can't exist without the other. So the abuser is in bully consciousness, is in that state of mind where they have to force another person, another human being, to do the things that they want so they can feel okay, so they can, without, they believe they have a story that if they don't force somebody, the other people, to do what it is that they want, then they won't be okay. They're not enough otherwise. They can't just allow that person to be them. And then on the other side of the spectrum is the victim consciousness, and so the abusee is in victim consciousness, and it's not their fault that they're being abused, and they're stuck and there's nothing they can do about it. So as long as either person remains in each of those states, whether it's the state of I'm stuck, this is happening to me, not because of me, and there's nothing I can do about it. And then the abuser is, there's nothing I can do about this, they just have to listen to me. This is how life is. If I want to get my way, I have to do it by force, and I have to just listen to that force. So on those two sides, neither of them is where we're sort of supposed to be. There is a place of balance in the middle of that, which is neither victim consciousness or bully consciousness. Is neither. It's in the middle where we don't have to people please and do everything somebody's telling us to do in fear of them, and we also don't have to force people by physical, emotional, or mental abuse to make them do what we want, because neither of them are comfortable. Both those people are suffering, the abuser and the abusee. So both those people are in a state of suffering. So one needs to go more towards the other side to find their point of balance, and the victim needs to come towards the sort of bullying side, until you reach that place in the middle where there's this sense of humbleness and this sense of quiet and trust that you are okay being you, and there is no force necessary, and there is no need to remain stuck in an abusive situation. There is no need to stay stuck in a situation, and there is no need to be the abuser, to abuse, to hurt other people, because I am sure the people who do abuse don't want to. It isn't a thing they want to be doing. It's a story in their mind that they have created and believe to be true. So somewhere along the lines, that's where I would start in what I would say to somebody who's had a past experience of abuse or currently in that state. But I also want to say that everything I am saying, that it is coming from a place of love and understanding. It isn't saying it's your fault that you're being abused. That's not what I'm saying at all. There's only one thing ever happening in the spiritual world, in this world that we're living in. So we are spiritual beings having a human experience, and the only one thing that is happening is that we are feeling our thinking in the moment. And so if something happened to us in our past, that was in the moment then. That didn't happen necessarily in the past, it happened in the now. Because when we lose sight of the present moment, of here where we are right now in this moment, we get lost in either the past or the future, what did happen and what could happen. And when we bring ourselves back to what is happening, we realize that that abuse that did happen, while awful and unjustifiable, it's not happening now, so it can't hurt you the same way it potentially did in the past. And it's finding that space of forgiveness in that other human, in that a person who abused you, in that sense. Like, it's finding that forgiveness for yourself, that you didn't know any better than to stay in that situation, and finding the forgiveness for that person, that they didn't know any better. And like I said, it isn't justifying it. It's we're always doing the best we can with the thinking we have in the moment. And so if the best you can do in a given moment is remain in an abusive situation, and then you come out of it, now you're in the present moment and you're no longer in it, beating yourself up over that isn't going to benefit you, because you're no longer there. That was the best you could do in that moment, and now you're here. And if you are in an abusive relationship or situation that you're finding yourself in, and you are still in it now, that's the best you have available to you now. It's holding on to that hope and that faith that we are not stationary as humans, we are not static. So a new thought will come into your mind at some point, and it will guide you, and it will bring you to a higher state of consciousness, which will allow you to move out of that abusive relationship, if that's available to you. And the same for the abuser, that they can stop abusing when they move up a level of consciousness. So yeah, it's a big topic, I think, personally. So if you have any questions or comments, feel free to comment below, or email me. I believe my email will be in the description of this video. And yeah, if there's anything that was unclear or you're a bit unsure about, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. I hope there was something helpful in that. And so yeah, lots of love, and I hope you have a fantastic day. Bye.